scores 31-25, earning Mike McCarthy his first Super Bowl win as head coach and getting Aaron Rodgers his championship belt.
Welcome back to the studio. Let's check out the Green Bay Packers draft history right here and see what they've done the last 4 years to put themselves in position to win the Lombardi Trophy. In 2007, the pick was Justin Harrell, the underachieving defensive tackle at number 16. 2008, playmaker Jordy Nelson from Kansas State, all the way to number 36. Great pick there. 2009, the main cog of the defensive line, B.J. Raji. And 2010, Brian Bulaga, the tough tackle from Wisconsin. To see what they're going to do in 2011, let's once again turn to Melissa Connor.
With the 32nd pick of the 2011 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Derek Sherrod, offensive tackle, Mississippi State.
Another promising offensive tackle off the board with the final selection in the first round.
And when you look at a guy like Derek Sherrod, a pure left tackle, you mentioned potential. This guy has it. A huge frame at 6'5", 321, improving strength. Lower half still needs some work there, but the potential there, as you mentioned, he's got a big frame, can block those passers coming off the weak side, the blind side of the quarterback. I really think this is a good fit for mostly keeping Aaron Rodgers upright. Yeah. And we mentioned the injuries that happened to him.
Right.
Yeah, Joey, I'm a big fan of Derek Sherrod, Walter Camp finalist, which is the academic Heisman in college. Really smart kid, knows his position extremely well. As Tom said, going to play left tackle. We saw in the graphic earlier, drafted Brian Bulaga for the right side of the line. Now they're getting younger on the left side. This was one of those picks. Green Bay didn't really need to take an offensive lineman, but if a guy like Derek Sherrod's there and you have the opportunity to grab a guy early that you can mold into however you want him, and as he said, needs a little more lower body strength, so he's definitely going to build that up. Doesn't have to go in right away. Good pick by the Packers, but really, they're the Super Bowl champs. They could have taken it.
What a scary team now in terms of talent. You add a team like that, and you add a piece like Derek Sherrod. Boy, that is really frightening for a Pittsburgh Steelers fan like myself, I must say. Let's go to Eugene Daniel one final time in Studio A.
Guys, I just want to go ahead and congratulate these guys who have stayed here so strong throughout the time. I can barely even hear myself. As you can see, we've made it to the final pick. We made it beyond the stretch. The 4.5 hours have been well worth it. These guys have been great the entire time. But you know what? The party stops here right now. But that doesn't mean the party stops. These guys are all excited to see what's going to happen tomorrow and for the rest of the draft. But we've had a great time here tonight, guys. You guys have done great. From my end, thank you for being with us this entire time. As you can see, we've had a blast.
Well, Eugene, we can clearly see how much fun you've been having in Studio A all night. And Kurt, it's safe to say that we had a lot of fun as well. What are you going to take away most from this night covering the NFL Draft?
You know, it was a bunch of fun. It was an honor to work with all of you guys. It was really a great experience. For me, there's one thing that stands out. Minnesota Vikings taking Christian Ponder. I don't get it. I don't know if I'll ever understand it. But you know what? They made their pick. All in all, it was a fun day. Some interesting picks, to say the least. It was a good time.
Yeah, definitely all our jaws kind of collectively dropped after that pick went in. I definitely know I'll remember most kind of just taking this draft and seeing it as a positive day. You know, all we've been talking about with the football before this has been so negative with lockouts and not knowing if there's going to be a season or not. But this at least gave us the hope that there is going to be football for next year as we all get excited about the new players added to our favorite teams. Joey, Billy, Tom, it's been a lot of fun on our side. We know you guys had fun too.
It sure has, Greg, and an evening of QB surprises and a record 12 defensive linemen in the first round. Tom, what is your biggest takeaway from this round?
Well, you touched on the defensive linemen, 12 of them, an NFL record being drafted in the first round. That was a surprise. Of course, thought there was going to be a rush on quarterbacks, 4 picked in the first 12, even Ponder and Locker going much higher than everyone expected. But no, there weren't any more after that. Still 3 really high-profile guys around for day 2. And, of course, you had some guys, big guys sliding. I know you're going to touch on one guy, Daquan Bowers.
Yeah, cannot believe Daquan Bowers did not go in the first round. I pray to God that man was not sitting in Radio City, because that is by far the biggest embarrassment you'll see in the draft. This was a guy who at one point was a #1 overall pick, and he didn't go in the top 32. Unbelievable. Also, as he touched on, quarterbacks still on the board. I think you're going to see them go early tomorrow. Buffalo and Cincinnati both looking for quarterbacks. Sure. Ryan Mallett would be a great fit in Cincinnati, so look for that tomorrow. But you got to feel for Daquan Bowers. Cannot believe that he did not go off the board. Or Stephen Paya, my favorite, huge guy. Really wish he would have went off the board. that just means still more defensive talent for tomorrow.
Tough fates for some of these guys. So many surprises in the first round of the NFL draft. For everyone here with me in studio and our producer Eric Kendall, director Michael Heil, thank you so much for tuning in. Let's do it again next year.
You've struggled, you've sweat, and you've bled to make it here. This is your moment. This is the NFL Draft.